What's up, guys? This is Brock in Vegas, and today's video we are going to be talking about what is money. That's the question that we're going to discuss in this video, and we're gonna try to figure out, is Bitcoin actually money? We're gonna look at the properties of what money is defined as and apply it to Bitcoin, so that way we can all be on the same page with actually agreeing that Bitcoin is money. So just as a reminder that all of these videos should not be taken as financial advice. Each person should do their own research before investing any real money into Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. So with that said, let's start the video. What is money? So there's a couple places that I've looked for the definition of money, and what I found was there were 9 properties of money and 7 functions of money. And we're going to go through those in this video. Hopefully we can stay under 10 minutes, but we might go a little bit over. But I feel like this is important because when I was learning Bitcoin, one of the first things that was talked about was what is money. And myself, I've worked in IT for over 15 years, and I was learning about blockchain technology, which we're going to get into. But then at some point, the question of what is money came up, and it was kind of interesting to me because I was just looking at it as a new technological breakthrough and had not even considered the whole economic side to Bitcoin. But it is really important that since Bitcoin is a financial asset, to look at the economic side as well as the technology side to it. So I want to show you something first. I found this on Wikipedia and I found it pretty interesting, is that there's a lot of different things that are considered money and they're put into categories like local currency, central bank reserves, virtual currency, central bank digital currency, cash, commodity money. So right here in the middle is cryptocurrencies, and that's mainly what I'll be talking about. I'm not sure what wholesale cryptocurrency is, but we're trying to establish whether cryptocurrencies could be considered money. And I found this interesting because cryptocurrencies is peer-to-peer, it's universally accessible, it's electronic. What you will notice is that it is outside of central bank issued. So I'm going to make a note here. Later on, I will do a video on how Bitcoin is issued, and I will also talk about the money supply of Bitcoin. So this is one diagram that I wanted to briefly go over. You may not be able to see it that well in the video. So here's another, I've been taking notes in preparation for this video, and I'm hoping that you can see these notes and follow along as we go. So there are around 9 properties of money, and we're going to go through them one by one, which might be a little boring, but it's very important when trying to understand what Bitcoin is. So, the first one, durability, able to withstand repeated use. This, when it comes to cash, this is important because when people use physical cash, like US dollars, the physical cash will start to degrade and start to wear out after a while. I used to be a bank teller, and they would actually take certain bills out of circulation and return them to the US Mint and the Federal Reserve because they're too old to even be used by people anymore. So with Bitcoin, it's very durable because it's digital. So, and things that are digital are able to be used for very long periods of time. The data, the Bitcoin data that's used is actually stored on a blockchain. So even though there's wallets that are being used, the data is stored on the blockchain, and when you back up your wallet, when you go to restore your wallet, you aren't pulling the data from the wallet, you're pulling the data from the blockchain. And all that is way too complicated to get into. So I'm going to save that for a later video. I'm just going to make a note because I want to be able to do a video on that later. So Bitcoin definitely has durability. Portability, easily carried and transported. And Bitcoin definitely has that because you carry it in a digital wallet, which is on your phone. So having an app on your phone makes it really easy to carry it with you. You aren't even carrying anything extra. You already have your phone with you. So if you're going to use a Bitcoin wallet on your phone, you certainly can carry it with you, which is portability. Divisibility, divisible to small units. As you saw in the last video, comparing it to US dollars, Bitcoin is actually more divisible than US dollars is because US dollars only has 2 decimal places and Bitcoin has 8. So that one is definitely covered. Scarcity, its supply and circulation must be limited, and Bitcoin has a set money supply of 21 million. So there will only be 21 million Bitcoin ever in existence. So that was set from the very beginning, even before Bitcoin started in January 2009. So that there is definitely scarcity built into it. And in some ways, the US dollar doesn't have scarcity in a way because, true, there is an exact number of US dollars in circulation right now, but they can reissue it, which means they can print more cash and put it into circulation as much as they want. So I'm going to make a video explaining inflation versus deflation in a future video, and it relates to scarcity and the money supply. So it'll all be connected. So acceptability. It must be accepted as a unit of account. So, as you know, US dollars are accepted just about everywhere. So Bitcoin, there's a lot of times I'll go into a store, like I went into Walmart a few months ago, and I asked the lady, do you guys accept Bitcoin? And what she said to me was, yeah, we accept coins. And she wasn't even understanding what Bitcoin is or how it relates to her business of Walmart. So there's a lot of merchants that may not accept Bitcoin, but there actually are a ton of places that do accept Bitcoin. For example, overstock.com, if you go there, you can spend Bitcoin. Expedia, which is a travel website, I've used Bitcoin on there. So there already is places to spend Bitcoin, and there's going to be more and more places all the time. Tesla is one. They just recently said if you want to buy a car with Bitcoin, you can do it through Tesla. There was one more of where it's accepted. Oh, web server. So for me, since I build websites, sometimes I need a web server to host the website. And there's a company called VPS Dime, which accepts Bitcoin. And I have paid for a web server before with Bitcoin. So that's acceptability. Fungibility, the individual units must be capable of mutual substitution. And that relates to interchangeability or uniformity. So the smallest unit of Bitcoin is a Satoshi. And if someone would want to exchange one Satoshi, they could do that. They can interchange it for other Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies for that matter. And there are exchanges that set the price of how much the value is for each one of those. So this one is a little bit more complicated to explain. So I may end up doing another video at a later time to explain this. Cognizability, sorry, I can't even say that, is value must be easily identified. So one way that I identify the value of Bitcoin is a site like this one you see in the background, where it will show what the value is at any given time. And the reason why this is important is in Bitcoin is because Bitcoin is very volatile. It can go up and down by a lot at any given point. So you'll always want to know what is the value of Bitcoin. Now, this website compares Bitcoin to US dollars, and for people in the United States, this is probably the most popular way to recognize value in Bitcoin. You can also compare Bitcoin to other fiat currencies. You can also compare Bitcoin to other cryptocurrencies. And some people do that, but usually I am only doing it between US dollars and Bitcoin. So it is easily identified. Stability of value, being stable and having less volatility. This one is questionable because there is a lot of volatility in Bitcoin. And that is one of the reasons why it's so hard for more people to accept it, because it's not stable. At some point in the future, the value may at some point become more stable, but at this point in time, it is not stable. Next, confidence. People must believe that it is money. So this is something that has been evolving in Bitcoin for a while, where when it was created in 2009, people thought it was a joke. Like, they did not believe it was actual money. In 2011 or 2012, someone bought a pizza for 10,000 Bitcoins. And the person that made the pizza, normally when a merchant, such as a place that creates pizzas, would sell pizza, they want to accept the US dollar. There is a high degree of confidence in the US dollar compared to the amount of confidence in Bitcoin. There's a lot of people that think Bitcoin is still a joke and they don't believe that it is money, so they don't accept it and they don't use Bitcoin. Obviously, me and you, we both do have a certain degree of confidence in Bitcoin. Me, that I run a business for Bitcoin, and you and others that are actually going to be using Bitcoin. So that one is questionable, but there is more and more confidence being built into Bitcoin. For example, recently, companies like Tesla, PayPal, MicroStrategy, they've been putting a large amount of investment into Bitcoin, and that equals out to confidence overall. So there is quite a bit more confidence into Bitcoin, which is why the price is going up over $50,000, which is another sign of confidence in the Bitcoin system. So that is the 9 properties of money. And I'm going to stop the recording now, and because we are over 16 minutes. And I'm going to break this one down into 2 videos so they stay small enough that you can watch them without them being a really long video. So I will talk to you guys in the next recording.